that was probably very... I hated that. That was annoying. I mean, every time I tried to hit go live, my phone would say Facebook has stopped working and then crash. I had to reboot my phone and go from there. So I said I probably wasn't going to be posting my video today because I wasn't feeling well. I laid down probably shortly after I took that nap, and the one thing you guys got to know about me is I don't have blood in my system. I am purely caffeine. If it is a caffeinated beverage, may it be coffee, Red Bull, or anything, I drink it. I think even my baby bottles contain caffeine. Probably explains about 90% of my problems. I run on sarcasm, cigarettes, and caffeine. So, today's color of the day. Before we do, I need to make a correction in my last video. Yesterday I said there was no day associated with black. It has been since brought to my attention that Saturday. So, yeah. Because the show I need to do my research a little bit better. Today is red. And boy, I love red. I love red, number one, because it is my candle, it is my color, it is what is associated with me. But number two, because red is just friggin' awesome. Why is red awesome? Well, because it is. So, first of all, let's get on to days of the week. Day of the week associated with red is Tuesday. So, that is when you're going to find that it is the best time to burn a red candle, is Tuesday. You're also going to want to use ginger or clove oil when anointing your red candles. And those are the best colors to also anoint your red candles with. Now, here's one of the best reasons why I like red candles. There are 3 zodiac signs associated with red. There are 2 that are associated officially with red. Aries, which is my sign, which is the ram, and is Mars. So, yeah. Aries, ram sign, and Mars. So you can use the Aries sign or Mars when carving a red candle. You also have Scorpio and Pluto. Now, Leo is also a fire sign. Therefore, technically, Leo can be used, the sign of Leo can be used on a red candle to give it a little extra power. Leo is, did I say Scorpio is associated with Pluto? Okay. Leo is associated with the sun. Therefore, and Leo is a fire sign, and it can be used with a red candle. It is not officially associated with a red candle. It is associated with orange, which we will get into orange later. But because it is a fire sign, it will work with red candles. So there you have 3 zodiac signs that will work with red candles. No other candle out there has that many planets or celestial bodies or zodiac signs associated with it. Just to give you a heads up. Now that we've covered the day of the week, zodiac signs. The red candle is a God candle. So if you are, like I said in one of my earlier videos, I worship Isis, so I would use a white candle for my altar candle because a white candle is a goddess candle. If you worship a god, like Apollo, for example, you would use a red candle because a red candle is a god candle. If you worship a god and a goddess, you would use one red, one white. I had to do a little bit of research on this one myself because I hadn't come across it. But I know there's a couple of Christian witches in our group. I am been told that God and Jesus is red as well. That is what I've been told. I've not found anything officially about it. You would not believe how hard it is to find something about Christian witches and candle magic. Apparently that stuff does not come up very well in research. I don't know why. So, what does red stand for? Red is like strength, fertility, love, respect, power. I mean, it is like one of the strongest candles out there physically. It is the attachment to the physical world. So, it can be used for some healing spells because it can give you strength while you're trying to heal. If you need to rekindle a spark in a relationship, or spice up the sex life, you can use a red candle. If you need to get a little bit more passion in your romance, use a red candle. Fertility. Okay, we spill blood during childbirth. Red is a representation of, that. So, fertility. So if you're using any fertility spells, red would be involved. Respect. If you need to get respect from somebody, you would use a red candle. Power. Like I said, we got red is going to be your connection to the physical world. So if you want power from somewhere, like you want a raise or a promotion that's going to get you more power or a higher authority in your job, this is where red would come into. If you have a rival or an arch enemy or somebody that you're trying to stand up to and you need more courage, or somebody like that you need to stand up to them, that's where you would find red to be useful in those spells. You can also use it as defensive spells, like if you're being assaulted by some type of spirit in your house, or somebody is assaulting you with some type of spell, or you're just being attacked mentally. Red candles can help with that. If you're into meditation, it's great for focusing your chakra. It represents in the body, on the chakra scale, your lower spine, your lower body. So if you're meditating and you're having an issue with, say, like your lower back or something, and you need to heal your lower back, you can light a red candle and use that in your meditations, and that will help with that. All in all, like I said, red is one of my favorite colors because this, when we deal with magic, we're dealing, people see it as, spiritual, and, there's nothing really to tie it to, the real world, and everybody's thinking we just send the energy out, and red is really where it kind of hits home, because red is that connection to the physical world. I mean, when you're going to do anything for a red spell, it's going to be like I said, red is the connection to the physical world. I mean, most red spells you'll find used to strengthen your body, used to strengthen your mind, empower your soul, empower just everything. Red is also, when we get into after the day of the week, the spell every day of the week, so to speak, you will find that red is great for multi-candle spells, because where red is an empowering color and empowers everything, if you really want that spell that you're using to work, well, not to work, but to be a little stronger, like if you're casting a protection spell using a white candle, if you add a red candle to it on the altar, and you call the element of fire. I mean, Jen's not here tonight. Usually I get a little heart from her floating by somewhere, but Jen has missed me tonight. So, Jen is good at this. I've seen her post it, and I'm going to post it at some point. But calling the elements, calling fire is really good, because Jen will tell you calling fire will strengthen and empower all your spells, like big time. And so any spell that you do, whether it be a money spell, a healing spell, a protection spell, anything, if you call fire, if you light a red candle with that, it can empower that spell and make it a lot stronger, more potent. Before you cast a spell, you can invoke fire. You can light a red candle, and you can, what's the word I'm looking for? You can empower yourself spiritually, mentally, and physically using a couple red candles. Through meditation. And then once you've done that, then cast your spell. And this is why I really like red spells, because with that connection to the physical world that red has, you got a lot of ways of empowering a lot of stuff. And, when you think about what red means around the world, bloodshed, war, and that, and you think, a lot of countries use red in their flags because it means, war or blood that was spilt during war. And, in a way, that is what we are channeling when we are using the red candle. That empowering, that bloodshed, that violence, that anger, and just with that overall passion that red has for that. That is why it is good for those romance spells, those love spells, fertility, I think I mentioned, and it's just, I could go on, telling you, it is just the best way to empower you, to fire you up, to get you ready to cast some of those really, really big spells. If you just light a couple red candles, meditate, focus on it, and just envision yourself becoming empowered by that red flame. And if you just think right there, fire itself is red. It can be blue, it can be other colors, but normally fire's red. So, and that is what red is. It's life itself. It's life, it's death, it's just power. You think about, Zeus, the story of Zeus who punished, Prometheus, who, sorry, I drew a blank there, who tried to give fire to humans by tying him to the mountain and having his liver constantly eaten by the ravens, the crows. And, because fire was such a powerful tool back then, and you think about, when people are mad, what do they say? Oh, he's seeing red, or he's fired up, and this is where red really comes into play. You want to power up, you want your spells to see red, and you really want, when you are casting a red spell, you want to get empowered, you want to get fired up, you want to see red, you want to channel all that rage, carefully, of course, into that spell and that passion, and just, I know it seems weird because I tell everybody you need to be careful, you need to be gentle, but red feeds off of that energy. You need to get psyched up, and if you're doing something with a red spell, it needs to feel you're empowering. It needs to make you want to be stronger, and it wants you to be, just the way, war and death and blood. And I know this sounds kind of just absolutely violent for me, but that's red, and there are some very violent spells that can be used with a red candle, but we're not going to go on those, and you got to think, these fire signs like Aries and Scorpio and Leo, they're always shown to be violent and, warlike and stuff like that. And fire, and you just gotta think, it destroys. It doesn't create. So you got to take that energy that wants to destroy, and you got to create a spell from it and learn to harness it properly, you know. And that's just why I love this candle so much. This is why I love that color, because it is taking something that is just so destructive and has the power to be so destructive, and you can channel it into you and use that to then push it out into the universe and, you know, make something beautiful from it. It's just so wonderful, and I love it. And, you know, I don't think you'll see me through any other video when we get into the colors, you know, talk so, you know, passionately about any other color. You know, I should have saved this for like the last, but I needed to get red out of there because I knew this would probably be one of my best videos, and after that it would just be downhill from there. And I know people say save the best for last, but I don't think I could, because I am always using red in every single spell. I'm an Aries, so I know these spells are always going to help me out. And B, I know that when you invoke fire, the element of fire, before casting a spell, it works. It will increase the intensity of that spell, and you can see your candles burn brighter and hotter and faster, and it's just so lovely. And like I said, I'm going to say it again because Jen is very good at it. I've seen her posts about invoking the elements. I can teach you how to invoke the elements after all this, but I need to focus all my strength and time on doing these colors of the day. So, you know, Jen's got the rest of the stuff for now. So for now, that's going to be my video. So blessed be and have a good night.